Hello there. I've officially run out of things to review. The Canadian series Robin Hood has finished and it was awful. I reviewed every episode and now the cupboard is bare. So if anyone has any suggestions, but in the meantime, what is there that's new? Well, it appears I'm going to have to watch Doctor Who. The BBC have brought out 3 Doctor Who specials, bringing back past Doctor David Tennant. And how did watching the first special make me feel?
I got you!
Stop! He's already dead.
Now, David Tennant coming back, I'm largely okay with, even if he appears to have aged like milk. But what I didn't like is that the episode started to belittle the Doctor almost immediately.
Nice to meet you, skinny man.
Oh, word of advice. You can wear a suit that tight up to the age of 35. And no further.
And in his place, I maybe would have responded that jabs like that are only acceptable for teenage girls, or women who don't have the body shape of a manatee. But why should he defend himself? He's only an ancient alien of near infinite knowledge. And how are they starting the episode this way? Doctor Who has been on the skids for some time now. The viewership has been tanking, and they bring back a classic Doctor, and one of his first acts on screen is to have him belittled, and he just stands there and takes it. And sadly, that is setting the table for the whole episode because, spoiler, the Doctor gets to do almost nothing. The bad guy of the episode is defeated instead by Donna Noble and her child Rose. Doctor Who gets arguably third billing in the series Doctor Who. And why am I even surprised at this point? Netflix heavily wrote Geralt the Witcher out of the series The Witcher. Amazon heavily wrote The Boys out of the series The Boys. Disney just had to stop their writers allegedly, mostly writing Blade out of the upcoming Blade movie. Iron Man is now Riri Williams, a teenage girl. Thor is now Natalie Portman. Hawkeye's now a teenage girl. The less said about She-Hulk the better, as well as Disney's strange obsession with male characters getting kneed in the nuts.
How quaint.
Now, David Tennant wasn't my favourite Doctor. My favourite of all time is probably Tom Baker, but since the reboot I quite liked Eccleston. And sadly, they've also brought back Catherine Tate. Her character, Donna Noble, cannot remember the Doctor at all. Despite all of their adventures together, the Doctor had to erase her memory and seal away the Time Lord powers she has to save her life. And if she remembers it, it will be all over for her. So the episode starts and the Doctor lands in London and tries to help someone who's carrying far too many boxes. And when he removes some of them, he sees that it's Donna and tries to immediately put the boxes back. And Donna immediately is rude and demands his help.
Let me help.
Thank you very much.
Oi, do you mind?
And we find out that Donna never needed help in the first place. Donna's child Rose is with her. And Rose is very tall for a teenage girl. It doesn't help that the person playing 15-year-old Rose is 20 years old. And what big hands Rose has. Rose didn't help with the packages for reasons. And seconds later we see Donna could carry all of the packages without covering her face anyway. Meanwhile, above them all, an alien ship is crashing to Earth. And Doctor Who goes to investigate the crashed ship, going past an armed group called UNIT to get into the factory where the ship landed. UNIT in Doctor Who was formed by Earth governments to deal with alien incursions onto the planet, and the soldiers of UNIT are being directed by a UNIT scientist, a woman in a wheelchair with spina bifida, yes really, and we later find out the wheelchair is equipped with knockout darts and mini missiles. It's a utility battle wheelchair, yes really.
Evening, boys.
You've got weapons in your wheelchair.
We all have. Come on.
This scientist can allegedly take on armed soldiers. She can't, however, get up some stairs to get to the alien craft. And she disrespects the Doctor as well. Everyone does in this episode, including Donna's mum.
Look, don't look, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
Here we go again.
The Doctor leaves the factory to try and find out whatever left the ship in an escape pod, and some of the UNIT soldiers try to get into the alien ship, and some sort of strange energy affects them. Meanwhile, Rose is on her way home, and is getting bullied by some boys on bikes, who keep on calling Rose by the name Jason. And we then find out that Donna's daughter is trans, and I never would have guessed. Or maybe Rose is non-binary, I don't know, and the show doesn't seem to either. And it turns out that the alien bailed out of the ship in an escape pod, and it's Rose that finds this alien in an alleyway. An alien that's furry and innocent looking, and she learns it's called the Meep. And the Meep tells Rose that other aliens are hunting it, so Rose takes the Meep home with her. The Doctor tracks the Meep to Donna's house. Then Donna's husband, played by an actor who used to be in the UK police show The Bill with a very high quality afro, comes back to find everyone panicking in his kitchen, and multiple aliens.
Something smells nice.
Tuna madras.
And most disturbingly for him, he learns that for dinner, his mother-in-law has made tuna madras. Curried tuna. That's wrong. Sorry, that's just wrong. The Doctor says that he will help get him, meaning the Meep, home. And Rose pulls him up for assuming the Meep's gender.
Yes, the Meep. I promise I can help him get home and then you'll never see me again.
You're assuming he as a pronoun.
True. Yes, sorry, good point. Are you...
The Doctor is an alien creature of immeasurable wisdom and age, getting lectured on pronouns by a 15-year-old teenager with big hands. The Meep is supposed to be an alien species anyway. Why does anyone assume the Meep even has a gender? Their species could be hermaphrodites, but the Doctor concedes anyway.
My chosen pronoun is the definite article. I am always the Meep.
And the other aliens that are after the Meep attack the house, causing the Doctor and his groups to run away with the Meep as the aliens fight against the unit soldiers who have also arrived looking for the Meep. And helping them get away here is pretty much all the Doctor gets to do in this episode. That, and he does work out that these scary looking insect aliens are actually the good guys, after he discovers that they're fighting using stun weapons. And after he summons together two of the insectoid aliens and the Meep, he learns that the Meep, far from being cute and innocent, is actually an intergalactic war criminal. A war criminal that then uses a hidden energy weapon to wipe out the two soldiers. And the Doctor just helped make that happen. And then the mind-controlled unit soldiers arrive again, and it's hardly a master plan from the Meep, is it? It only has soldiers to help because they were silly enough to just try and walk into its ship. The Meep takes the Doctor's group hostage because it intends to eat them, and its ship taking off, we learn, will destroy most of central London, which at this point would maybe be doing the rest of the UK a favour. So, is that a useful moral message in the show? Not to judge a book by its cover? Maybe, but the sad part of that is that this episode is not even an original story. It's based on a Doctor Who print comic from the 1980s. The one part of the episode I maybe could have praised was written by someone else. They just took most of what the Doctor did in the original story and gave it to Donna and Rose to do instead, and filled the story with propaganda. The original story, as if you ever needed to be told, contained no unit scientists with spina bifida in a battle wheelchair, nothing about pronouns or gender, and the Doctor actually got to be the hero of a Doctor Who story. The Doctor and his group are rescued by Wheelchair Lady, who it turns out has a militarised wheelchair, and then the group splits up. The Doctor and Donna go into the Meep ship to prevent it destroying London, but sadly, the Doctor is only a man, and therefore can't stop it all on his own, so he has to unlock Donna's memory and powers, knowing that it will cost her life. He does that, then she comes up with a plan to stop the Meep ship when he couldn't, does it, but somehow she survives anyway, and the Meep is going to have these soldiers execute them for damaging his ship, until they're saved by Rose, who breaks the brainwashing of the soldiers using her special non-binary powers. Yes, seriously! When Donna had a baby, the Time Lord powers got split between her and the child.
We are binary.
She's not, because the Doctor's
Male.
and female.
And neither. And more.
And what? Make up your damn mind, show. The Doctor just said him and Donna are binary, but at the same time, the Doctor is male and female, and neither and more. But in the end, it's all okay. The Meep gets arrested, but they still have to deal with the Time Lord powers that would destroy Rose and Donna. And what happens next is what made this episode even more unacceptable for me. Rose and Donna just disperse their Time Lord powers by doing what, in their words, is something a male-presenting Doctor could never do. This is actually deranged.
Yes, we know. We know everything. Thanks. And you know nothing. It's a shame you're not a woman anymore. She'd have understood. We've got all that power. Something a male-presenting Time Lord will never understand.
Just let it go.
The show is just brazenly and openly sexist. And what do you mean, male-presenting Time Lord? Where do you get off telling this alien of indescribable age what his gender is supposed to be? The exact same thing you criticised him for doing in this very episode. This was supposed to be a show pitched at kids. They intended for children to watch this. Is the meep supposed to be some sort of grand metaphor for this episode? Something that presents as furry and cuddly and innocent, but scratch the surface and it's actually malevolent, dangerous and insidious. A thin pretence of being an entertainment show used as a delivery method for the maker's political ideology into the minds of children, and it's creepy as hell. Then the episode ends with the Doctor convincing Donna to go and see her grandfather Wilf with him. And they have to go in the TARDIS, his phone box shaped ship that can travel through space and time. And you could do that, or you could just take a taxi. You know, either or. But they decide to take the TARDIS. The Doctor appears to have a coffee machine built into the main console of the TARDIS's time core for some reason. Then Donna explains how Rose can't act, and yes, we all noticed. Then Donna throws the cup of coffee into the TARDIS's time core in a strangely theatrical way, sets it on fire, and her, the Doctor and the TARDIS get catapulted across the universe. And in retrospect, that seems like an extremely silly place to put a coffee machine. And these 3 special episodes are supposed to bring back fans before their handover to the new Doctor, who is going to be this person. Here pictured with what looks like a solar flare in the background, and yes, flaming certainly is the word that comes to mind. Disney and the BBC working together on Doctor Who is a match made in hell. Disney continue to burn every beloved IP they touch to the ground, and it's just sped up what the BBC were doing already.
And Rose's school play, well, maybe not that. She can't act. She's terrible. I don't know how to tell her.
Jesus.
I can feel your anger.
What about the other Jedi spread across the galaxy?